All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Crypto News and Investigative Reports. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you are joining us today. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our subscribers, who I call my friends. Thank you for subscribing. We are Crypto News and Investigative Reports. Glad that you are here and that you're joining us on this Sunday. Also, please follow us. Please subscribe to Crypto News and Investigative Reports. There is a subscription button. Please hit that subscription button, click on it, and then there is a little bell. Click on that bell and that'll let you know the next time we have another video that is coming up. Also, please follow us on Twitter at Crypto News and Investigative Reports. Our handle is right here, RobTech, R-O-B-T-E-C-H-P, RobTech P. Crypto News and Investigative Reports at RobTech P. I am glad that you're here today. There is a lot of news breaking, so let's just get to the news right now. First, on Twitter, I tweeted out, please follow us on Twitter again. Here's one of the first things I tweeted out, and this was about Bakkt, B-A-A-K. You know, it's interesting what's going on. Actually, the headlines with that was, can Bakkt become the next cryptocurrency leader, is what it's saying on this particular article. And it says, while the cryptocurrency market is experiencing certain struggles, some of the platforms are going through changes as well. Some of these changes that these platforms are going through, some of them are negative, some of them are positive, but they are going through it right away anyway. And then it talks about, on this article, it talks about Bitcoin that's still holding a 51% dominance in the cryptocurrency market. It shot up again, so you know it's actually doing pretty good. I mean, I know people think that Bitcoin is dead, but Bitcoin is actually doing a lot better than people think. All right. Also, it says Bakkt is a new cryptocurrency platform. It was introduced by the same company that was responsible for creating the New York Stock Exchange. And I really believe that's why a lot of hype is on Bakkt, because it is created by the company, by the creation of the people that created the New York Stock Exchange. But what you have to remember is it took the New York Stock Exchange a long time to become what it is. And so if Bakkt is actually going to be equal to the New York Stock Exchange, then it's going to take a long time, as well as virtual currency is really going to have to pick up for it to have any comparison to the New York Stock Exchange at all. So, I mean, everybody that's hyping it up, you might want to just slow down on the hype and just let's kind of take our time to see what's going to be happening with this, because currently they look like they're still trying to raise money. Okay, they look like they're still trying to raise money. They just got one of the most, I guess they got the 23rd richest man on earth to kind of help infuse some money into Bakkt and to help them keep going. His name is L-I-K-A-S-H-I-N-G. All right, I don't want to mess his name up. He is a Hong Kong philanthropist. All right. He's also an advisor in C.K. Hutchinson Holdings and the owner of a venture capitalist company, Horizon Ventures. He is interested in the technology and the cryptocurrency in particular. He's interested in cryptocurrency in particular. Thus, he is investing heavily in such industries. So this guy is putting a lot of money into Bakkt, into a lot of these different platforms. But he is actually putting a lot of money into Bakkt. And you're right. Generally speaking, Bakkt is completely different from other exchanges, cryptocurrency exchanges, because unlike those, Bakkt exchange keeps all of its contacts. It keeps all of its contracts in the warehouse and then clears them out with the time. But then the difference is that their other ones they put CBOE. And that's the Chicago-based exchange, and there's another, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. These are different. In turn, they keep those, they keep their stuff in their fiat currency, and that means that they transfer it to the currency that it is backed up by the government use, whichever the government is using. That's how they work. So that's how Bakkt is different from some other currency exchange platforms. My point is, with saying all this, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Because they ain't out. They're not doing nothing yet. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what Bakkt is going to do. I know everybody's excited because it's kind of the New York Stock Exchange of virtual currencies. But man, they're still trying to raise money. They're still holding out. And hey, ain't nothing new here, guys. Same old warmed up stuff about Bakkt. Everybody's waiting to see what's going on. The second thing I want to talk about is this article that I tweeted about from the Securities and Exchange Commission. And you guys, I just might as well make this point. We need to slow down on this. Anything from the SEC is going to take some time. Now, I know people are saying that the SEC is going to be, not going to be around. They're going to be, they're not going to regulate this and that no more. They're not going to do this and that. No, but look, the Securities and Exchange Commission has been around forever. Okay, and they're not about to take a walk. And actually, nobody's going to drive them out because they're the police department, right, for the New York Stock Exchange and a lot of other these companies. The SEC is the police department, man. They're not going nowhere in the United States. Nobody's going to run the SEC out. That's a political entity, man. And in order to take political entities out, they take a long time. Number one. Number two, they're going to be dragging their feet, man. The Securities and Exchange Commission, what's going to happen? It will not happen, these regulations and what the SEC is supposed to be doing. It's going to take a long time for them. I'd be surprised if they do anything this year other than drag their feet on certain issues because there is no, there's no urgency. There is no hurry for the Securities and Exchange Commission to do anything. So, this right here is what they've been saying for the longest. When the tokens are not being sold as investment contracts, however, they are not securities at all. Tokens sold for the use in a functioning network rather than an investment contract fall outside of the definition of security. And they've been saying that for a minute now, man. They're saying the same thing. So there's no need to think that the Securities and Exchange Commission is going to do anything today. With anything in the month, next month. They're going to continue to drag their feet because they can take as long as they want to because it's a political entity and they're charged by politics. If there was a political urgency on them, then I think that they would make decisions just like everything else. The SEC operates just like all the other agencies, just like, the National Transportation Safety Board, just all the other things. They don't do anything until there's really a real pressure on them to make changes. But anyway, this, you might want to stop by my Twitter and kind of read about, I tweeted out the latest news on the SEC. Here's a MasterCard may be about to enable Bitcoin transfer. This is a good article for the Bitcoin people, man, for the Bitcoin maximalists. Here is a great article. Everybody keeps saying that you guys, Bitcoin is out, Bitcoin is dead, Bitcoin ain't going to do this. But look, here it is again. Bitcoin may be about to enable Bitcoin transaction MasterCard. That is good news. So you might want to go back. There's another MasterCard article I want to read. So I'm going to just cut this one real short and move to the next one. But this is a good read for those of you that are Bitcoin maximalists. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen, Christine from the IMF. That's the lady with the bullet, got her finger on the trigger. She's going to pull it. When she says it happens, it will happen. But that's not what she's saying. Christine has been going around the world talking about the economic crisis. I know, with a lot of good news about Bitcoin and everything, Christine is talking about the crisis, the financial crisis. That's what's happening with what Christine is saying. And so here it is. IMF warns of global economic storm and growth undershoots. And then she says, last month, IMF lowered the global economic forecast for this year from 3.7, she dropped it down to 3.5%. So none of the news, in fact, when Christine was at Davos, what Christine was talking about, she was saying it's going to be so bad, the economic crisis, and she's that's what she's telling everybody. There is going to be an economic crisis, and she's talking about it, and she's saying that, and it's really going to be bad, is what her whole point is. And what I was going to say is in Davos, she compared it to a downhill skier and a cross-country skier. That was her example that she used regarding explaining what's going on with the global financial situation. She was saying the downhill skier moves a lot quicker and a lot faster. But she says her word was laborious. She said cross-country is laborious. It takes time and you got to keep going. So what Christine is really putting across to us, guys, that it don't look good. Point blank. Period. The IMF warns of global economic storm. It does not look good. And if you guys know, it's been a serious, nothing's happening with virtual currencies. And so that's why the SEC don't have to do nothing. I mean, these are some parallel stories. I know a lot of your people that are into virtual currencies are not paying attention to the financial reset, to the coming financial crisis. But These are parallel stories, guys. So the more you get into studying virtual currencies, the more you should be able to move into, get a broader perspective. You know, I want to tell everybody that's your XRP community, your Bitcoin community, your Ethereum community, broaden your perspective into an investment-minded investment solution and understand, you know, you need to understand these things. And so that's what Christine, that's why she's so important. That's why Brad Garlinghouse was sitting there talking to her not too long ago as well. All right, so let's keep going. The African Blockchain Alliance, an organization of blockchain experts, have collaborated with the ConsenSys Academy to launch the Blockchain Developer Program in Africa to improve the skills of developers in the distributed technology area. You guys, I've always said that whoever wins this virtual currency thing, the winner of that is going to win the unbanked, right? Because that's what it's all about. The unbanked is what it's all about here. I think in the it says the African Blockchain Alliance and the ConsenSys system launched the Distributed Ledger Technology Development Program, and that's happening in Africa because there's so many unbanked people in Africa, and so there's billions of dollars. There's billions of dollars. I know there's millions, but there's billions of dollars in Africa, and whoever wins the virtual currency position, and there might not just be one. It might not just be Bitcoin. It might not just be XRP. It might not just be Ethereum. There might be a number of virtual currencies that help Africa come out of its poverty situation. A lot of the unbanked people will finally have access. I know Bill Gates and is working on a lot of that kind of a thing. And so that, to me, that's the winner. Whoever wins this, or those top virtual currencies, will be able to help these people come out of poverty by giving them access with virtual currency. That's a great story. You might want to go by our Twitter page and read that. Also, Wells Fargo. It says cryptocurrency enthusiasts were quite gleeful. This is really funny. That's why I think this has these two people. If you notice, these two people are sitting here cracking up. They're laughing at Wells Fargo Bank because Wells Fargo Bank, it says cryptocurrency enthusiasts were quite gleeful and poking fun at the bank. The reason why they were saying that is because they were saying the decentralized nature of virtual currencies could handle such problems. But listen, Wells Fargo keep having these shutdowns. This is about the third or the fourth one, and the problem is, and you know, actually we were affected by that personally. We had to make a lot of calls. We were wondering what in the world's going on our online accounts. They look crazy. And this is getting crazy, you know. So they make a great case for virtual currencies. What's happening to Wells Fargo and what's happening to them with their app and what's happening to them technologically, what's happening to them with their customers and their technology. They're trying to go behind they're trying to go behind and fix all of their problems, and it's actually not working. They're having some real serious issues. And they keep having these shutdowns, and it keeps affecting their customers. And so, you know, now everybody's saying they just need to go with virtual currency, set up a virtual currency wallet, and just, you know, stop holding out and move forward. So that's why these two people are sitting here laughing at them. Cryptocurrency users got a big chuckle when Wells Fargo had its mobile app and online banking platform shut down due to a power outage. And everybody's saying, well, you guys definitely need to go to virtual currencies because virtual currencies can handle and decentralized technology, distributed ledger technology, blockchain technology could handle all of that. So Wells Fargo needs to make their move, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So please go by Twitter and check that article out. That's a good article. Now, here's another one I want to stop by. This is on MasterCard. This is why we need here's another one. This is why we need decentralization. Let me click on it and I can read it a little better. Come on. Sorry about the computer being a little slow today. This is why we need decentralization and more democratic and transparent financial institutions. Fortunately, cryptocurrencies are bringing a better model with the time to take over the old system. Here's another one of those old system, new systems. And it says MasterCard was fined $650 million for artificially increasing their fees. And see, that's cold, man. That's why I continue to tell you that these banks and these payment providers, they're not really in business to make things cheaper for you. They're in business to make more money for them. And that's why MasterCard did this, and I'm glad they got caught. They got fined $650 million for artificially increasing their fees. And if they were on virtual currency, if they was on the blockchain, they wouldn't have been able to do this. You know, and so at the same time, I mean, I'm always in favor of distributed ledger technology. I'm in favor of blockchain technology. I think it is the best. I think it is more honest. And that's what it's actually meant to do. It's meant to take us away from having to trust these people. And look what they're doing. MasterCard fine. They get caught $650 million artificially increasing their fees. You know, Wells Fargo Bank got caught making fake accounts and taking money from people. And MasterCard doing the same kind of stuff. I'm so glad they got caught. This is why we need decentralization and more democratic and transparent financial institutions. Okay, because decentralization would have caught this. We wouldn't have to go through this. We wouldn't have to be paying this kind of stuff. So this is really a sad. MasterCard ought to be ashamed of themselves, which they're not. They're into making money. That's why they do it. They do it. And if you read this article, you need to read this article, because this article will tell you that they didn't care whether they, basically, the article says to me, they didn't care whether they got caught or not. They just did it. And they said, if we get caught, fine. If we don't, we'll just keep doing it. All right. So that's crazy, man. So stop by Twitter and my Twitter, Crypto News and Investigative Report, and read that. I won't stop too much and talk about this story. The European Commissioner of the Digital Economy and Society, Prince Michael, he's going of Liechtenstein, is going to be speaking at Europe's biggest blockchain event. He's going to be talking about he's going to be talking about the digital economy. That's a great story for my EU. I got some people in EU. That's an EU story right there. I'm trying to keep a broader perspective on the news and not just stay right with one virtual currency. And I want to go by, here's that Wells Fargo, the sixth largest bank firm in the United States, has shut down. I talked about that, how embarrassing that was. Oh, looked like I tweeted it twice. Here's where I want to stop. It says, the new president of Brazil. I want to give a shout out to the people that that are in the Crypto News and Investigative Reports community from Brazil. What's up, y'all? Y'all got some good news coming up. The new president of Brazil is set to promote a technological evolution, y'all, and make the country a regional reference in the adoption of the use of blockchain and digital assets to enhance the design and the control of the public policies. In other words, it looked like Brazil is moving into the 21st century, and they're going to start having some virtual currency out there. And looks like the president is going to promote blockchain, and they have a B right here on their flag, Bitcoin. So it looks like it could be Bitcoin. It looks like it be XRP, Ethereum, whatever. The new president of Brazil appoints an economist, Robert Campos Neto, a strong advocate of blockchain technologies, as the head of the state's central bank. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that's following the Crypto News and Investigative Reports community out there in Brazil. Look like it's happening for y'all. Congrats. That's great news. Now, finally, I want to stop by some news that I know the XRP community is not going to be too happy about, because there's a lot going on in the XRP community. So let's go over to it right here. I think it's here, right here. Yeah, right here. Francis, which is Francis has tweeted out an article, guys. There is no such thing as dormant funds in banking. Now, let me give you a little bit about Francis. Francis Coppola, she's a senior contributor for Forbes magazine, guys. Forbes, okay? And I'm sure they vet their people. And I know the XRP community is not going to like this. There is no such thing as dormant funds in banking. She says one of the principal claims made by Ripple for XRP is that it would free up $5 trillion that is sitting dormant in banks' Nostro accounts around the world. In a blog post, Ripple says that this ties up capital that could be used in a more productive way, using a digital asset such as XRP as a bridging currency for foreign payment could, according to Ripple, enable banks and payment providers to free up those assets that would normally be committed to funding Nostro accounts around the world. And that is a Ripple claim, because if you go to Ripple and on their Ripple XRP community site, on Ripple their site, you click on the XRP and you scroll down here. That is exactly what it says. It says, using XRP, banks can source liquidity on demand in real time without having to pre-fund Nostro accounts. That is on the Ripple XRP site. So, wow, this is a bombshell. The XRP community is going to be hot because there's a lot of people in the XRP community that are going to go at her with insults like they did last time about the Euro XM Bank. So here's another thing. But Frances Scott's credibility, guys. She works for Forbes. She's a journalist. She's banking and insurance. I wrote about banking and finance and economics. She's been around. She's not new. She's been around a long time. And she knows what she's talking about. So I'd like to see if anybody go at her. Instead of going at her with insults, calling her old, stupid, calling her the B word, and all of those kind of things like they did last time about her other article, I'd like to see them go at her with facts. That would be great, because that would be a very great debate. And so, I have written in an explanation about the Nostro accounting and why Ripple is wrong. There is no such thing as dormant funds in banking. And you know what? The problem, guys, the problem that I see is that, and I'll close with this. David Schwartz is not a banker, okay? David Schwartz is a cryptographer. And so David Schwartz's responses are basically regarding his background is in cryptography, and that's probably where he should make his comments and leave his comments regarding virtual currencies and stuff like that. Nobody's got more experience. You know, David Schwartz is like the Superman of cryptography, and he's dynamite in what he does. I thought the banker for XRP, I thought the banker was Chris Larson, and so I think Chris Larson, if she's not making accurate statements, I think Chris Larson should talk to Forbes magazine and say, yes, it is. I mean, that, you know, that XRP is actually helping Vostro accounts. But the problem is, guys, where are the bankers at? That's my question. Where are the bankers at? I mean, we keep hearing from like fan base kind of XRP people, which I understand they're emotionally connected to this virtual currency, and so they want to emotionally come out and attack her. But where are the bankers? How come the bankers are not coming out and say, wait, we're saving? How come nobody from PNC Bank? You remember this? Ripple says PNC Bank embraces blockchain and joins RippleNet. How come PNC Bank is not coming out and disputing this article? How come they're not? I mean, how come central banks are not coming out? Nobody's saying anything about it. Only the fan base, only the XRP community and the XRP army are coming out trying to say this is FUD and blog downline. Where are the bankers at? The ones that are saving on their Vostro accounts. If you're saving on, if there is a banker that is saving on his Vostro accounts, today will be a good day to come out and repudiate this article. I mean, you know, if this article is not it's not truthful, that it's not factual, then where are the bankers at? Okay, where are the bankers at? All right. Until the next time, guys. This is Crypto News and Investigative Reports. Please join us on my Twitter. Please become one of the Twitter followers at Crypto News and Investigative Reports, as well as please join us as Crypto News and Investigative Report community on our YouTube page. Please click that subscribe. I need some subscribers. Come on, hit me up. Doing my best to keep you informed with the news as it happens. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.